Hello everybody and welcome. This is going to be a different video today. As you can see, this is an audio form, and today I'm not really going to be talking about wrestling. Not really any type of wrestling at all. But this is going to be a different subject I'm talking about today, and something I've been meaning to get on is E3. If you don't know what E3 is, it's mostly the largest video game convention in the world, if I'm not mistaken. And I want to talk about that because there's been a lot of things going on this week. I believe today is the final day of E3, especially for the show floor, because of course there's been a lot of press conferences going on through the entire week from Microsoft, Ubisoft, Bethesda, EA, Ubisoft, Nintendo. I know Sony didn't do one this year, so I was actually kind of surprised to hear that, but I'm going to get into that a little bit later on. But I want to talk about E3 because it's a lot of games coming out, and I'm sure a lot of you guys are just looking forward to lineups, everything that's going on when it comes to E3. So trust me, it was a lot this week, and I want to speak a lot about it. So it's crazy because I've been watching E3 for a very, very long time now, for many years, back to the days of G4 TV. When it was, still around, it was cool at the time. I think I've been watching E3 since like 2005, 2004. I think that's when I first got into it, and that was due to G4 TV. I knew G4 TV, was about the video games at one point. Until when E3 came around, I always would stick glued to the TV when that would come on. Yeah, I would stay glued to the TV though throughout pretty much throughout the entire week because I always wanted to know what new games were coming out. It got a little bit more difficult later in time because, if you want to say high school, it kind of messed with the time and everything, and it was kind of hard to watch the shows in the morning. I didn't really know about stuff on the internet like that at the time, so it was a little bit more difficult when watching E3, but yeah, I've watched this stuff for a very, very long time, pretty much knowing whenever game comes out. Pretty much sat through a lot of these, some good, some bad press conferences through, new consoles, games from, I think that was around, when I first started, they always announced that, that's when they first announced the PS3, the 360, the Nintendo Wii, all the way up to the current, day and age and state of every game console right now, because usually it was G4 that was the number one thing to watch until they kind of lost they lost their way on video games, and then I just remember they just became a Spike TV 2.0 clone. I called them that, and then video games just suddenly all disappeared, and there was no more E3 coverage unless you were watching Spike TV with Jeff Kingley, but they would only show a couple press conferences, and they would show some of E3 throughout the day, but I mostly watched all these conferences, online, either, IGN, GameSpot, or whatever other video game website that's talking about E3, because that was the only way I'm going to know about every game that's coming out and all the information I needed to know. So, that's how I've been mostly keeping up with this entire thing throughout the years and everything. So, that's how I've been, watching E3, though. But there's a lot to talk about. Some things I like, some things I didn't like throughout this week. Like I said kind of earlier, I was surprised Sony did not do a press conference, but I think that has to do with, and if I'm not mistaken, I believe it was announced a month ago or leaked about the specs for the PlayStation 5, and I'm going to get into that in a minute because I got some things to say about if there should be a new console coming out right now specifically, but I do want to kind of talk about a little bit of the press conferences though, kind of going back to EA last Saturday. EA's press conference was very set up differently. It was an outside platform. I think they probably showed like 6 games, probably 3 I honestly really cared about, and EA has had a lot of, listen man, Usually EA does these big press conferences, and people have just shitted on EA for a number of years, myself included, just to how they've done video games or games they have not brought back. Because the first thing they show off when I'm watching this outside environment is the new Star Wars game, The Fallen Order, if I'm not mistaken, or is it Jedi Fallen Order? Star Wars Jedi Fallen Order. And listen, I don't trust EA with the Star Wars franchise at all at this point. They have royally just they just really fucked up Star Wars Battlefront franchise, okay? The Battlefront franchise has just been in such a bad rut through the past few years. It's a shame. And trust me, I remember when they first announced the reboot for Star Wars Battlefront, I was looking way forward to that. And I got to play both. I was left disappointed in the end, but I did play both of those games for a good minute. It's just the problem with Star Wars. It's just EA. It's the company that they're dealing with. And might I remind you, they are making more games for this. Because I just look at Star Wars and in EA, it's just not a good combination. Because, like I said before, with Battlefront, it's not been a good look through the past few years. I remember when the first Battlefront came out, and I was just disappointed because I think people just missed the '04 Battlefront 2 and everything because that was one of the best games ever. And then when they come out with this new one, first off, both of these games wanted to think they could come out by the time the movie came out, so they think people would buy it just because of what The Force Awakens and The Last Jedi movie, and especially with The Last Jedi movie, I saw videos of no one that buying Star Wars Battlefront 2. The first part of the problem was just EA and microtransactions and paying for loot boxes. I did not like Battlefront 1. The season pass was nearly $100. Half the DLC didn't come out till half the year. What was very strange to me, they only focused on like the original trilogy of episodes 4, 5, and 6. And listen, there was barely any hero characters like the old Battlefront. It didn't play like the old one, and it played more like Battlefield. But people wanted, where was the Clone Wars at, huh? Where was the Clone Wars? Yes, you can go off the original trilogy and a little bit of new trilogy right now too, but where's the original? And Battlefront 1 was just debacle, barely any content, and I did not go buy DLC because it was just costing too much and they didn't make sense. And I just remember when they showed Battlefront 2 not about a couple years ago, I was like, okay, first off, I can't say they learned from their mistakes, but they say, oh, we listened to the fans. No, you screwed up, so you just put the stuff in people wanted, okay? And it's the Clone Wars in there. And you have characters like like Yoda. I think he was in the game. Of course, Vader and Princess Leia, Han Solo, the Emperor. I think Windu was in there. Mace. I know the new DLC had General Grievous, Anakin, and Obi-Wan Kenobi. And they actually had space battles this time too. But what screwed Battlefront 2 was the microtransactions, because you pretty much had to gamble your way, and I think the government got involved in the game, and they thought people was going to buy it just because of the Last Jedi movie, like I said earlier, and, no one was not buying the game. So I don't trust EA with Star Wars in general. Don't get me wrong. The Jedi Fallen Order looked like a good game. It looks like a really good game. It looks like something I want to play. I think it may take place during the Rogue One saga when I was kind of listening to the details, because Forrest Whitaker was back in the game, and I know the main character you play as is, I think he was I don't remember his name, but I think he was the guy that was playing like the Joker. Well, I wouldn't say Joker, but I forget the character's name from Gotham, or he was that redhead dude from Shameless, if anyone's seen that show on Showtime. So that's kind of what I would say about him. It doesn't look like a bad game. I'm not saying it is. It looks promising. It doesn't come out, till... Does it come out in November, I think, the Jedi Fallen Order? I think so. It looks good, but like I said before, I do not trust EA with the Star Wars franchise in general, and I'm not sure whether to trust them with this one. It looks good, it looks promising, but I am not really sure about this game, okay? So, I like how it looks. It looks good. They had gameplay of it. It's not bad. I hope it would be successful, but EA has just screwed people for so long. I don't think people trust them. Apex Legends, though, that is actually a good game. I have not played that yet, but I think I am going to download that for free, so I will be able to play Apex Legends, because I know a lot of people that have played them. I'm surprised I have not played that game yet, but it almost looks like Overwatch. Somebody said it was like Overwatch / Call of Duty, I know that. So I do need to check that out, because they had new DLC for that coming out. Battlefield 5, a game I actually am currently playing still right now, so it had new maps coming out, which they really need more maps. I think some content came out that day when the press conference happened, I know some maps coming out June 23rd, and more throughout the entire year. So there was a lot of maps I know and content coming out in the fall. It's not much I can say from that. I do play Battlefield 5. I will say, you know, what's the word? Continuously, or back here and forth. Because the last Battlefield game that I played a lot was Battlefield 3. I thought Battlefield 3 was the best thing, because I remember going to the store on Black Friday just going to buy the DLC, and I just had a good team at the time playing, and we were just killing on there. And Battlefield 3 was just a fun game, okay? Battlefield 3 was very fun, especially if you had a good squad with you. And I had a good squad at the time, too, because there was one team that was really good, but then there was this other team, I remember, which wasn't bad, and I had fun playing with them. It just got too weird when you got, what, these guys are way older than me talking about My Little Pony, what they call brownies or something. I don't know. I'm not going to get into that, but I thought that was kind of strange, really, to me, especially when you're playing Battlefield. You talk about My Little Pony, so I don't understand. I just kind of got out of Dodge then. But, yeah, Battlefield 3 is a very fun game. I know people didn't like 4, but 4 got better in time, and maybe it's because of all the DLC, because people said 4 sucked, and it did. But when you go back and play it now, because they have more content coming out, people grown to like and respect it and play it like 3 then. Yeah, but, yeah, people did like Battlefield 4. In time, and then, the next one was Battlefield 1. I think that was like World War 1. That was actually a good game, too. Until, the current Battlefield 5 came out, and, that's been a lot of fun. So, I like that. I do like Battlefield 5, though. So that's the only game I play currently, because I was kind of done with the press conference after that. I wasn't really trying to hear a new FIFA or Madden, because personally, listen, Madden is nearly the same game every year with an updated roster. Okay, that's why I like one a new feature. That goes for NBA 2K, and that goes for FIFA, and that goes for the WWE 2K franchise. I don't even know if they had something at E3 this year. Now, I may have to go back and look, because usually I know when they're there, okay? And maybe it is, maybe I haven't seen the gameplay, or they haven't announced, but the WWE 2K franchise, that's another one. Same game every year, updated roster, probably one new two things, the basic things they have not fixed in the 2K franchise from, I've said this for multiple years now, they haven't fixed. Listen, WWE 2K screwed up when they went to the next gen on the One and PS4, okay? Because personally, I thought the last great WWE 2K game was in 2K14. That was the most customization I could really do in there until probably currently. There is more customization now, but it's just gotten really bad. And I know there's people that are not in the game that people know that, and don't get me wrong, they have a stacked roster, okay? They have a very, very stacked roster, but there was some people that were missing from the 2K game, 2K19, like Tommaso Ciampa, which I don't know if that was a money dispute or something. That goes with half the NXT guys too, but they still have a very big roster, and they had DLC come out after that. It's not like 2K is not that bad. There are slight improvements, and there are features that should have never been taken out, but it's still a lot of basics like Universe Mode. Universe Mode just is almost the same. And I like Universe Mode. It's one of the most common things I use to make up stuff and book things, but they just have really. But the thing that gets me, you can't play no tournaments in Universe. I would love to create a tournament. I would love to create my own King in the Ring, or create a tournament to fight the champion if there was a vacant title on the line. But I don't think there's a way of doing that, and I think people want story. Listen, I can go on a whole rant about 2K all day, from story editor or anything, but they just really have screwed up a lot of things in the 2K franchise, and that goes for the 2K in general. Don't get me wrong, it looks nice. Same that goes for Madden and FIFA. I know you get to change your overalls and everything, but still, I just kind of didn't really want to watch, because I know what EA is mostly going to say about Madden or FIFA every year. And I know people that are still going to buy the game in August when it comes out, okay? That's going to happen one way or another. Same with NBA or whatever sports game that is. And personally, like I said, if 2K wanted to be smart, personally, I would say get a new developer for WWE 2K, or just WWE in general. Take a year off, then come back. Don't even put out a game this year. Take one off, come back the next year until you have a better video game. If not, get a new developer. Alright? Because 2K I just don't know half the time. I really don't. And I know they showed The Sims 4, but I missed that. So EA had a different press conference outside, but I just know people just don't trust EA like that. They really don't, okay? There are titles that have been good in the past, but a lot of things have just either become very, very repetitive or the shit just flat out sucks half the time. And you just can't trust a lot of... You can't just trust a lot of things in, EA in general. You can't. So, other than Battlefield, I would most likely play... Well, I already have, but just play more maps. Apex Legends, and maybe that Star Wars Jedi Fallen Order game. I don't know. So, we'll see on that. But the next thing I do want to talk about is, yes, the Microsoft press conference now. This is one of the big ones. I'm sure a lot of people had their eyes glued on. But yeah, Microsoft, though, I think Microsoft brought a lot of heat this year to E3, especially with their press conference and multiple other games. I think they probably done better in the past few years than what I have said before about Microsoft. Don't get me wrong, Microsoft has had a hard time kind of regaining the trust of fans right now due to the Xbox One. And, of course, we all know about the biggest news out of it, but that doesn't mean they had a lot of games and stuff, for Microsoft. Yeah, because I watched this Sunday afternoon, and it was a lot going on. Okay, there was a lot going on when it had to do with Microsoft though, because like I said, they kicked it off as usual. I know they showed Outwilder 3, I believe, because trust me, there was a lot of trailers for games that either I'm gonna know or don't know, or the titles I'm interested in. But I'm just kind of going back over my notes here because I did write some of the stuff down they did during the press conference. They did show Outer Worlds, which is coming out on October 29th. That was the first thing to kick off the press conference. Second, Bleeding Edge, like a new 4-player co-op. It was like a different class style of combat, if I'm not mistaken. I know it was like a 4-player co-op thing. I saw a lot of ninjas in there. I don't know a lot about it, so I need to look that up. There's a sequel to Ori. Minecraft Dungeon coming out February 11th. Minecraft. Maybe there are people playing Minecraft like that. Trust me, Minecraft can be very creative. You can build a lot of cool shit. But sometimes I never knew the objective of Minecraft other than just building things and fighting exploding zombies most of the time. They also announced the Blair Witch video game coming out August 30th. That was something, if you've seen the Blair Witch Project movie, now it's a video game now. So it was kind of interesting what I saw. Wasn't a lot of gameplay there for that. Cyberpunk 2099, that was one of the biggest things that was being shown. And of course, they also, it wasn't really gameplay, but it was a big trailer for it. And it also involved Keanu Reeves, or some people like to say John Wick, or Neo, who is also involved in the game, which is coming out April 16th, 2020. I've seen, I've seen it for a minute now, Cyberpunk 2099. They've been showing this for a good couple years now. So hopefully Cyberpunk 2077. My bad if I said 2099. 2077. That's the title of the game. But, yeah, I've been seeing trailers for this for a while now. It's not been a lot of gameplay to it, but hopefully we see some in the coming months. I know that. But I did like what I saw, and Keanu Reeves was a big surprise, and the fans popped big for it and went batshit. I'm sure people could say, hey, it's John Wick, the movie, or Fortnite, because at first I say, is that John Wick? Is he also in the game too? And that was probably one of the most biggest titles that was being shown there. Spirit Fodder. It was a new trailer for that. There was a lot of new games. Xbox likes to work with a lot of indie developers, so they show a lot of new games for that. Battletoads, The Legend of Wright, as in Phoenix Wright, I believe. A lot of more other games they were showing, and the Ultimate Game Pass, which you can buy right now for $1 online, especially because they're working with it. Microsoft has got really, combined their games cross-platform with the PC and the Xbox One itself, so, there was a lot of cross-platform titles like Halo the Master Chief Collection, which now involves Halo Reach. I don't know if that's on Xbox or not. Hopefully so. And games like Gears, I believe The Division, and it's a lot you can play with the Xbox Game Pass for $1. So go get that right now. They showed for Flight Simulator, Age of Empires 2, Wasteland 3. Psychonauts 2 was actually something I was interested in to see because I haven't heard of a Psychonauts game since 2005 or 6. So they were working with the developer, and was it Tim Schafer, I believe, that's pretty much made that game. So I was very excited to see that trailer and gameplay to Psychonauts 2 world premiere. So I'm glad that's coming out. Lego Star Wars 2, the Skywalker Edition. I like Lego games. Lego games are always fun. I don't care what anybody says. I played Lego Star Wars for a long time. I haven't played all of them, but Lego Star Wars is a very fun game, and I guess it's all the trilogies, pretty much all the movies in Lego form. Dragon Ball Z, well, which was called Project C, but now it's called Dragon Ball Z Kakarot. You know, it was just pretty much listen, if you've seen Dragon Ball Z, you know the whole story, okay? They called it Project Z at first, but now it's just called Kakarot, and so what I saw was from the Saiyan saga and the Frieza saga. And I said this at one point about Dragon Ball games. How many times are we going to keep telling the same story? Listen, I've heard the same story for damn near 20-something years, okay? We all know how it goes. We all know the Saiyan saga, Frieza saga, Cell saga. Show me something different. Make a game around Dragon Ball Super, okay? Just make it on a whole different... Do it about the Broly movie or something. Don't get me wrong. Fighter Z was a huge success because that was actual... I thought Fighter Z was better than Budokai at one point. That's debatable depending on what Budokai game or Budokai Tenkaichi game you want to go, but the fact that they had 3 versus 3 combat in Fighter Z, which is a very fun game to play, and the DLC, get that too. But what I'm seeing from Project Z, somebody brought this up to me before, because it's supposed to be like an RPG game. This may be like Xenoverse, and Xenoverse 2. Xenoverse wasn't bad and let you create your own Dragon Ball character and stuff, but yeah, there was some problems in there, and they just kind of furthered more in the story and added elements from Super that, involved into the game now. Because I don't know what they're going to do, put Ultra Instinct, because if we're just going by Kakarot now, Dragon Ball Z Kakarot, I'm assuming you're going to put things from all the way from Dragon Ball Z, maybe Dragon Ball if you want to go that far. Then, GT's not canon, we're not going to talk about that, but it's involved in, the Fighter Z, plays Super Saiyan 4 Goku, I think, or Kid Goku. And Super all the way up to now until something else comes out about Dragon Ball Super. I don't know, but the last thing I can really say that's been out there is the Broly movie, which was very great. So, and when you think about it, how many times can you sell a Dragon Ball Z game without telling the same story for almost 20-something years now? We know how it goes. We know how it works. Okay, show more around Super. Give me a new story. Give me something different. I don't mind it, but now it's kind of like, you got to give us something different now with this, okay? I'm sorry, you just got to. They also show Gears of War 5 coming out this September the 10th. That's a game I am looking forward to, Gears 5. I thought it was kind of funny, kind of cool too, that they had Xavier Woods, AJ Styles, and Tyler Breeze up there to, I guess they were demoing the game on Twitch, I think it's going to be on, so that was kind of fun to see. So I am looking forward to Gears of War 5. There's some detail on that in the trailer, so at least we got a release date. They even showed a new Horde mode, I believe. And Terminator. It's a lot of these video games that got Terminator DLC. Why are they all in the Terminator now all of a sudden? They showed a new wireless controller. I don't really know all the specs to that right now, so go look that up if you can. Forza Horizon 4, also including DLC. Listen, Forza always comes out with it. Yeah, it's funny, they got a Lego game too. There's also gonna be a Forza Lego game. Look, I see a Forza game every year at Microsoft's press conference now. That's one of like the main things I see is a new Forza Horizon game. And now they got a Lego one coming. Even the pop version of Gears of War, which kind of got like a map builder to it, so that looked kind of fun. Phantasy Star Online 2, that's going to be online now. That was actually interesting to see. So, I'm not I know what Phantasy Star Online is, but I can't say the biggest fan of it, but I know what it is, though. Yeah, I don't know the most about Phantasy Star Online, but I know it's a fun game, though, to what I hear. They also showed a trailer for Crossfire X. That was a world premiere for that. Tales of Arise, but I'm sure probably the biggest thing about Microsoft's press conference was the unveiling of the new Xbox. It wasn't the console technically, but it is called Project Scarlet, which is coming out holiday of 2020. Now, what do I have to say about this new Project Scarlet? What I've read is the native 4K at 60 frames per second to up to 120 frames per second, next gen SSD of 40 times faster than the current consoles, hardware accelerated ray tracing, games, accessories, and career come with you. Well, at least you can get the transfer your information over, because I don't need to be making a whole new account, but you was able to transfer from the 360 to one, and 8K capable. So there's a lot more details if you go look online. And also, I'm sure the biggest thing people saw was the new Halo Infinite. It was a big trailer for that, so I'm sure a lot of people are looking forward to Halo Infinite. Just a new Halo game in general. Hopefully 343 can do better than they did with Halo 5. Now, a new Xbox. Okay. I've said this before about Microsoft, what I kind of said earlier in this whole thing. Microsoft, I feel like they've had a rocky time lately. They've gotten better throughout the past few years now, because they focused more on the games and putting out great titles that people want to play. Because Xbox One, it was a failure in the beginning, okay? I remember years ago when I saw the first unveil for it. They better be lucky Sony didn't have nothing this year, but I remember years ago in 2013 when that whole new console was unveiled and they did not really say anything about video games. At one point, I just called it a giant DVR system, because all I kept hearing is, you can watch TV. You can watch TV. You can watch TV. Tell me something different other than watching TV, and there was no games. And I remember this guy saying something, whoever was the guy that was talking about it when they unveiled it, because that you had to put a camera up where it watches you. You had to have an internet connection. You literally had to have an internet connection or you could not play this thing. And it was almost like he told people, like, you want to play video games, go play the 360. So you're putting out a console, but you don't want people to play the games? So it was almost kind of like you couldn't, like, it was no backwards compatibility. I know it's backwards compatibility nowadays, but there was no backwards compatibility, and it's almost like it just looked like some giant machine. I thought it cost too much money at the time, and then, I was just sold on getting a PS4 that year. Well, the next year then, because I just remember later that day when Sony did their press conference, they did everything the opposite Microsoft did, and Sony gained more fans. I thought Xbox One was a failure in the beginning. I honestly did. It was not good, and I thought it was shit. Alright? I personally thought it was shit in the beginning. And the only reason I was going to get an Xbox One was whenever I heard something about Halo. And I waited years to get one, okay? Until, like, Halo was out at the time. Though I was able to still play 360 or keep up with people I know through, my computer or something, talk to my friends online, but just Xbox One was just, I don't know, it was like a giant brick, and it watches you, and all you can do is play TV, and there were no video games announced that year, and it's like they were having a hard time coming back out. And then they came out with the One S, so it was a little bit smaller, a white one that kind of ran better. And then they talked about, what was it, Project Scorpio a year or two ago, which was literally the same thing. Xbox One X, all it was, it's supposed to be more powerful than a PC, which a lot of people shitted on that, which this console is supposed to be more powerful than a PC, what I keep hearing too. But, I just remember the One X coming, cost too much money, only 1 terabyte. I can go to the store and buy 4 terabytes and be on my day and just transfer games to the console itself, okay? So I didn't really think I need to go buy another one. I can't wait till the One S came out, and it was cheaper at the time, and it didn't cost a lot of money, because I thought the Xbox One X cost just money that was just really made no sense. Don't get me wrong, PS4 was expensive too, but PS4 wasn't as high as the Xbox One at the time. So when I see Project Scarlet right now, listen, I know it doesn't come out till another year, until next holiday and everything. Listen, I don't get these consoles when they just first come out, because there's always some type of glitch or problem or anything, or just not enough games. And I'm sure people will either wait till Black Friday, or they're going to wait till a way cheaper price comes out until they get their shit together and get more games coming out. Now, don't get me wrong, I'm sure people are going to buy this console due to Halo. Anyone's going to buy it for Halo. Come on, I want to play a new Halo in general, okay? Don't get me wrong, I still play Halo right now. It's still fun to play. It took some time to fix the Master Chief Collection, but it's fun to play though still, and it's Halo in general. But when I see a new console, it's like, do we need a new Xbox? It's been like, what, 5, 6, 7 years now for the One X, and that's what I'm saying about PlayStation 2. Okay, because PlayStation wants to come out. Like I said, they didn't have a press conference. All right, they didn't. They did not have a press conference when this happened. All right, so Sony just, I think they just gonna wait till next year until we get the PS5 out there. Do I think there's a need for a PS5? Not necessarily. I don't think so. PS4 is still very successful. Let's be honest here. People still playing big games out there like what? Red Dead Redemption 2? Kingdom Hearts 3? Grand Theft Auto? There's a lot of top titles. Spider-Man? Come on, man. It's a lot of top titles on the PlayStation. PlayStation still has titles coming out, and they didn't have a press conference this year, okay? We're still waiting on The Last of Us 2. We're not getting any of that this time, but still, there's a lot of more games coming out for the PlayStation 4, or currently that you're playing right now, that you know that there's no need for a new console. PS4 has been out since 2014, I believe. So that's like, what, 5, 6, 7 years? And don't get me wrong, consoles, I guess, come around that time. If you want to go back to the original PlayStation, then PlayStation 2, then PlayStation 3, then PlayStation 4. Now we're probably going to get a PS5 next year. Maybe I would say wait another year, but I think PS5 is still, I think PS4 is still successful right now. I'm just a little surprised they didn't do a press conference, but I think that's going to be next year when we unveil a PS5 when that happens. So I thought Microsoft had a successful press conference, if you ask me. You can disagree with me on that, but, in my opinion, I don't think it was bad. But I do have questions about the Project Scarlet, though, when it comes out. It looks promising, don't get me wrong, but you just can't have another failure in the beginning like you did with the Xbox One and have to win the trust of the fans back to play your console. So that's kind of the thing with that. But moving on from the Microsoft press conference, we had the Bethesda, which I've seen people shit on that conference throughout that later on that day. Listen, I'm not interested in everything I saw in Bethesda. Fallout 76, I already heard there was enough problems. What do we have here? Had to take that phone call, but yeah. Bethesda, though. Bethesda. I know a lot of people do not trust Bethesda and everything nowadays. I think that's some people say due to Fallout 76, which... No, I didn't even play. I played Fallout before, but I just heard Fallout was not good. Listen, you're going to hear a lot of Elder Scrolls from Bethesda's press conference. I will say that. Especially with the Elder Scrolls Blades open beta. I know there was new content for Fallout 76, free content, and it was a trial. There's a trial right now as we speak. You can play a free one. And they want to add the Nuclear Winter, which is a battle royale, 52 players for Fallout 76. So, if you like Fallout, I'm sure that's great for you if there's new content. Ghostwire Tokyo, they show with a new engine, which I was talking to somebody online saying that Fallout just Bethesda needs a new engine in general. They show more content for Rage 2, more stuff for Wolfenstein. I gotta play the second Wolfenstein game. I heard that was really fun. I really need to play that. Because they have Cyberpilot, which comes out in July, and Youngblood coming out on July 26th. So there's still a lot more Wolfenstein coming out. That franchise is good, though. I got to play the new one, though. I still got to play the second one. I heard that was a fun game. Deathloop. I don't know a lot about that. All I know is almost like it's Ultimate Respawns, and it looked like a cool-ass trailer, so I will say that. Their new Orion game engine, which is for the cloud. That's another thing they showed. Doom, which I'm sure everybody wants to see, Doom Eternal, or, comes out November the 22nd in the Collector's Edition. It's not a lot I can say about Bethesda. I'm not it's not like probably 2 or 3 games I'm interested in for Bethesda, but Doom is one of them, though, and Doom looks like a lot of fun, so people want to see that. So, I can't comment on Bethesda that much. I know a lot of people shit on Bethesda, but there are people that are fans of Bethesda, so I can't say it was that bad, but... I don't know. You determine what you think about Bethesda. I don't have a clear-cut answer on their press conference, but I did like a few games. Ubisoft. Next day, Monday, I believe it was, kind of in the afternoon, kick it off with the new Watch Dogs game, Watch Dogs Legion. coming out March 6, 2020. Now, you're not one character in this game. You're pretty much every NPC in the world, which now takes place in London, England, like, might I add, which you could switch from anybody in the world, even to a 70-year-old woman killing motherfuckers in the head. So, yes, a 70-year-old granny just taking a pistol and offing everybody, which is kind of funny, but it's not one character, it's many characters, and you can recruit a lot of people into the whole DedSec thing, so you could be anyone in the world, and they showed gameplay, which is a lot of fun. Listen, I like Watch Dogs, even though I felt I was lied. Listen, it's one thing Ubisoft does is this. Ubisoft can put on the greatest graphics when you see trailer or gameplay for it. That's just for sure, though. But when the final copy comes out, you go like, what the fuck is this? That's what I said about the first Watch Dogs, okay? Because I remember years ago when I saw Watch Dogs, and I was really hyped for it. Just because it was in my town, Chicago, and it just looked really great. And it captured the essence of it. Then when the game comes out, this was so graphically downgraded. Like, I played the game and finished it, but I just left disappointed in the first Watch Dogs. I think I only played it because of the story and that and the whole hacking thing. But it looked better in the trailers than it looked in the final product of it. Watch Dogs 2 was a better game and more fun, and they fixed a lot of problems. So at least that was more enjoyable when you play a second game. The third one coming out, I am looking forward to it. It's coming out next year. I like Watch Dogs, even though all these stories in Ubisoft connect together, from that, Splinter Cell, Assassin's Creed, or whatever big title they have over there in Ubisoft's corner, because a lot of these games have almost like cross stories and everything. But since it's in London, England, we'll see what happens with Watch Dogs Legion. So that is a game I'm looking forward to get. They showed a new RPG called Mystic Quest Brawlhalla, which at first I thought this was a Cartoon Network thing, because Adventure Time is now in the game with Finn and Jake and Princess Bubblegum or any other people you know from the show Adventure Time. So that was actually a surprise. Ghost Recon Breakpoint, they talked a little more about that, which there is a beta coming out September the 5th, but the real game comes out October 4th. I know they brought out John Berthal, if you know him as the Punisher from the Netflix series, or you know him as Shane from The Walking Dead. He was out there to talk about the game because he's in the game, so there you go. And more Terminator DLC. Well, we're really getting Terminator in for some reason. There was also talk about Tom Clancy's Elite Squad. Yeah, let me say one thing about Ghost Recon Breakpoint. I hope this is better than Wildlands. Wildlands was fun in a way, but it just kind of got glitchy too much for me. Because I remember people talk about I remember Wildlands, so that was going to be the big thing. But like I said, Ubisoft does these downgraded trailers and stuff. It's different. But Wildlands still has content that comes out to this day. Come on, they've had the Splinter Cell DLC come out with it. So that was actually kind of fun too. But, and Rainbow Six also added into it. But, this Ghost Recon does look promising. Breakpoint, I still think Wildlands is fun if you play with 4 players. If you got friends to play with. But I think it still could have been a better game, though. But like I said, there's still DLC for it, so people do still play they still play Ghost Recon Wildlands. Tom Clancy's Elite Squad was pretty good. Mostly main characters from a lot of the Tom Clancy games, like Sam Fisher, the Ghost Recon, or people from the Division. Of course, another Just Dance game has to come out, because it's 10 years of Just Dance, and they have to have a whole thing. So, more Just Dance games. Be ready for that. For Honor Shadows of Hikitori, that's a DLC for Honor coming out. Rainbow Six Quarantine, it's going to be a 3-player co-op. I think it's almost like that. I think they had a beta for that not that long ago. It was fighting aliens, not zombies, so that's going to be coming out early 2020. But they do have the Phantom Siege, I believe, for Rainbow Six. Like I said, I play a lot of Rainbow Six also. Trust me, Rainbow Six, man, you want to talk about a crazy ass game, you got to be working with your team really well on there to know what you're doing on that. Okay, Rainbow Six, that's all multiplayer, but man, you just gotta have a good squad if you gonna play that. They also showed DLC for The Division 2. I have not played The Division 2 yet, but now since I hear it's free right now, through the 13th to the 16th, I will get that. I hope it's better than the first one, because once again, I was almost tricked into Division. I remember I got the first one as a birthday gift. I had fun with it, but I kind of didn't keep up after when the DLCs came out. And then after that, I had fun with the Division, and I still do want to play Division 2, because they have episodes 1, 2, 3 DLC coming out. In July for episode 2 and fall for episode 3, and it's going to be at an 8-player raid in the fall for episode 2 and 3 for the year 1. That's all year 1, folks, for the Division 2, so I'm still going to check that out. And they also announced a Division movie coming to Netflix. I think they said Jake Gyllenhaal was it. I don't remember the other person that was going to be in the new Division movie, but it's interesting that they want to make a movie out of it now. I don't know if it's going to be like that Assassin's Creed movie they had put out in theaters at one point, but this one's supposed to be on Netflix. So, the Division had a lot of, like I said, Division had a lot of content for it coming out, so at least that's good. Of course, they showed the Ubisoft Play system, $14.99. It's pretty much like a streaming service they have, so check that out. I did like that they kind of kicked off the show with Assassin's Creed Symphony of all the music in the game, and they also showed Roller Champions, especially like some roller derby game. It's a beta coming out, well, demo play through June 14th, but I think that's at the show floor though. That was kind of almost the end of it. The last thing they showed was, Gods and Monsters, I believe that was the last thing. One thing that I kind of wanted to see from Ubisoft, which was not shown, there was no new Splinter Cell. Personally, I wanted to see a new Splinter Cell game. I was hoping it was going to be a new Splinter Cell game, but unfortunately, there is no new Splinter Cell game. And that kind of sucks, if you ask me. I would have loved to see it, but no, they did not have a new Splinter Cell game. I know it was another game that people wanted to see from Ubisoft also. I'm trying to remember what else, because it was either Splinter Cell that people wanted, because you just haven't seen a new Splinter Cell game since 2013. I know Michael Ironside was Sam Fisher in that Ghost Recon game, but between that and, there is no new Assassin's Creed game this year. I'm kind of glad about that, because I haven't even played Odyssey yet. I'm still trying to get through Origins, and I'm used to keeping up with every Assassin's Creed game that's ever came out, but I've just been a little slow on that lately, and I need to kind of knock one out the way before I can get to the other, so I'm kind of glad there is not a new Assassin's Creed coming out for any console this year. So take a break on Assassin's Creed, because I'm used to seeing an Assassin's Creed game almost every year at this point, and I know I'm going to pick it up because I play Assassin's Creed all the time, and it's a fun game to me. But I just know there was no new Splinter Cell, and that sucks, and I was kind of and there was no Beyond Good and Evil 2. No more details about Beyond Good and Evil 2 right now. No gameplay, nothing. So I think those were the two big games I think people really wanted to see. To what I saw was either a new Splinter Cell game or more details about Beyond Good and Evil 2, which was not shown. So I wish there could have been more of it, but unfortunately we're not going to see any Splinter Cell or Beyond Good and Evil 2 right now. Maybe next year. I don't know. Personally, I really would like if they had a new Splinter Cell. Y'all put all this content for Splinter Cell and other games and have Easter eggs. Give us a new Splinter Cell game. It's about time. We want to see Sam Fisher back. Michael Ironside is Sam Fisher also. We want to see that too. But after the day 2 of that, I remember Square Enix press conference, because since that was more entertaining than Monday Night Raw, I watched it for the new Final Fantasy VIII Remake, which looked fucking fantastic. Just so much detail into that. I cannot even tell you everything. I just know it comes out March 3rd, 2020, and I'm sure a lot of people are looking for it. I've heard Final Fantasy VIII Remake for many, many years now that it finally will come out, and I'm sure people pop big for Cloud, Tifa, or if you play Final Fantasy back on the original PlayStation, I'm sure what this means to you. Because they also show what The Last Remnant coming to Nintendo Switch, Life is Strange 2. It's a lot of Dragon Quest Fire Emblem games. Dragon Quest Builder 2 coming out July 12th. Circuit Superstars Battalion 1944, which look kind of fun. New Kingdom Hearts 3 DLC Remind. I don't know. I haven't played Kingdom Hearts 3 yet, which I need to. So hopefully I get to that soon enough. Shadowbringer. They showed a launch trailer for that coming out July 2nd. Dying Light 2, I didn't really say much of that during the Microsoft press conference, but there was at least some more gameplay of Dying Light 2. If you played the first Dying Light, it's a really fun game. Check that out. Outsiders trailer they showed. There was a lot of Final Fantasy. You even get a Final Fantasy VIII remastered though. But I think the biggest things I could really take from the Square Enix press conference was Final Fantasy VIII, and I'm sure everyone's talking about the new Avengers game that is coming out. Like I said, Marvel Avengers. It was a big trailer for that, mostly story trailer, no gameplay. I know they talked about 4-player co-op online, and it will come out May 15th, 2020. But if you want to see the trailer, just go look online. I don't know if it was much gameplay in that about it, but it was more story element, and I think we saw Ant-Man at the end of one of the other trailers they showed. I was talking to somebody about this. One thing I can say that the character models to the Avengers, though, they do look a little off, in my opinion. They almost look like the characters from the Marvel vs. Capcom Infinite game, because I thought Cap looked a little bit weird. I thought Iron Man looked a little weird. Like, you just look at the character, look at their faces. Go look at Black Widow's face or Iron Man's face and tell me how strange it kind of looks, okay? Because I was just kind of looking over it for a minute. And I know they showed the voice cast, like Troy Baker and Nolan North and stuff involved. But for a minute, I actually thought they were going to bring the real Avengers cast out there. I thought they at least motion captured them. I actually thought they was going to use the ones from the movie and actually use the theme to it also. Because I'm like, oh shit, they got Robert Downey Jr. in this shit? Chris Evans? That would have been fucking gold. I'm still looking forward to it, though. It is good to see another superhero video game coming out, especially for Avengers. Like I said, I heard it's 4-player co-op. Square Enix has the ball on this one. So, let's see where they can roll with this. That's something I would like to see. I would love to show the Spider-Man 2 game, Marvel, but I think let's wait on that for a while. We just had Spider-Man come out last year. We're going to wait on a new Spider-Man game. But I heard it's supposed to be more heroes in there, too, so we'll see what comes from that. But Marvel, like I said, Marvel, the Avengers Marvel game, we'll see where this goes. I don't know where, but we will see where it goes, though. But after Square Enix, Tuesday, Super Smash Bros. DLC, Nintendo. Nintendo brought the heat. But let me say one thing about Nintendo. Folks should stop sleeping on Nintendo and Nintendo Switch, okay? If it's one, I know Nintendo ain't always up in the radar like that to people half the time. But don't get me wrong, the Wii U is not that good, in my opinion. But the Switch has been a colossal success for the past, 2 years I think it's been out. So hopefully Nintendo doesn't come out with a new console anytime soon, because Nintendo does not barely drop their prices at all to any of their games or consoles. And the Switch is very, very high. So, Nintendo brought the heat. I'm going to say that right there. Nintendo brought some heat. First off, they had the Super Smash Bros. You know people want to see some more Super Smash Bros. DLC, which they have Dragon Quest DLC. Listen, I don't know about Dragon Quest that well. I don't play Dragon Quest a lot. But I'm sure a lot of fans were happy to see Dragon Quest being involved in Super Smash Bros. Go look up the trailer and gameplay to it. That will be coming soon, I believe in the fall or later in the summer. They also showed Luigi's Mansion 3. That's something I do want to play. I do like Luigi's Mansion. I've always played it, so I was kind of happy to see that. Legend of Zelda Link Awakening coming out September 29th. That's another big time. Like I said, Nintendo's bringing the heat with these games. Dark Crystal, they showed for that. The Witcher 3 coming to Nintendo Switch. Fire Emblem 3 Houses. Listen, I don't know a lot about Fire Emblem, so I should be excited for that. A lot of Resident Evil coming, but you don't put out Resident Evil 2 Remake for the Switch, though. You can put out Resident Evil 5 and 6 or remake any. Listen, it was one thing I noticed about the Switch with Resident Evil and Capcom is that they love putting their Resident Evil games on the Switch, like Resident Evil 4, and I'm sure there's a whole bunch of Resident Evil games on there, but like, dude, put your new shit on there, okay? Put the Resident Evil 2 Remake, go work on the graphics or whatever, just find a way to port it to the Switch, and we'll all be happy, okay? I've already played Resident Evil 5 and 6. I pretty much played whatever Resident Evil game is over to that point. I just haven't played Resident Evil 2 right now. Hell, put Resident Evil 7 on there if you have to, but I think people really want to play the remake for Resident Evil. One game that I am looking forward to, it's not a lot of detail right now for it, but they did show a trailer for No More Heroes 2. I have not heard about No More Heroes since the original Nintendo Wii. I remember that game from over 10 years ago, so I'm surprised they've even making a sequel to it. It's not a lot of detail right now, but in time we'll see. Contra Rescue Corps coming out September 24th, and there's an anniversary collection you can get right now. September 13th, Daemon X Makia. They showed more Pokemon Sword and Shield. Nintendo has been having a lot of directs lately, so a lot of them has been about Pokemon. I ain't the biggest Pokemon fan out there, but Pokemon be putting out some good shit though. Don't sleep on Pokemon, people. Pokemon Sword and Shield looks very promising. Serial Chain, it was something new. I don't know a lot about it, but it looked interesting. Empire of Sin. Another game I am looking forward to, coming out July 19th, Marvel Ultimate Alliance. I have not heard about Marvel Ultimate Alliance 3 since, like, 2000 and... shit. I played the first one on the Wii, and then I played the second one in 360, but I think that was in 06. I heard no developer didn't want to take the Marvel vs. Ultimate Alliance game, so Nintendo took it. And to what I'm seeing, I like what I see. X-Men, Fantastic Four, Avengers, Ultimate Spider-Man, Miles Morales, Spider-Gwen, they have in there. Also, a lot of Marvel characters. Deadpool, I said Spidey already. I believe Luke Cage, Iron Fist. We got a lot of Marvel going against Thanos in the game. Magneto was in it. I know that. It's pretty much any Marvel character I can really think of right now. Whatever you want to go with. So, other than some of the groups I named, I was like, oh shit, y'all got the X-Men in this piece. Okay. Now I'm liking what I'm seeing. So, Ultimate Alliance 3, I will be getting that game, though. That's a game I do want. I have not played a Marvel Ultimate Alliance in a very, very long time, and this one has looked promising. I've known that since the Game Awards of last year when they first unveiled it, because I never thought I would ever see another Marvel Ultimate Alliance game again. So I'm happy to see this one come out. They also showed Mario and Sonic at the Tokyo Olympic Games coming out in November. Listen, nothing against Mario and Sonic. I don't mind. Listen, I played the Olympic Games in the past. I played the first one. But, I don't know, man. I've seen so many of these Olympic Games. I don't even know if I really need to see another Mario and Sonic Olympic game, though, okay? Because it's like, I don't know how many they had. I know the Olympics in different countries and stuff, but, man, how many of these Olympic games you can keep putting out? Which they add more characters to it. It's not bad. I don't hate it, the Olympic, but... I think people just like to see both Mario and Sonic kick each other's asses in Super Smash Bros. Personally, Sega, what I need you to do is make a new Sonic the Hedgehog video game that doesn't suck, okay? Mania was great, because that was actually made by fans, and you let someone else take the helm, and not just Sega doing it themselves. Forces was not really a good game. Mania was great, which is still fun and playable and very challenging. Let the new blood get some of this. Stop having the regular people Sega. Let someone else make the Sonic games, okay? I don't think Sega say anything about a new Sonic game this year. But they really need to... Because personally, the last Sonic games have been really that great. It's either A, Mania, or I can go back far to 2011 when Sonic Generations came out. Because that was the 20th anniversary video game. Give us some better stuff for the Sonic games. Forces could have been great. You failed. Trust me. I played it. It wasn't that good. Mania, I got no problem with it. But I'm tired of kind of seeing the Olympic Games at this point. Sega, give us some new Sonic games. Really, it's been too many bad ones for too many years now. Mania is probably like the best thing y'all put out in a long time. Like I said before, that was made by a fan. Okay, that was made by somebody else that Sega trusted, I believe, I'm not mistaken. So, that was a good game. What else they had for Nintendo, though? Animal Crossing, New Horizons coming out March 20th. I'm sure a lot of people are focused on... listen, I don't know that much about Animal Crossing, but I'm sure a lot of people are looking forward to it. So, Animal Crossing seems really, really good, I will say that. And Breath of the Wild 2, Legend of Zelda. I know they didn't have a lot for it. I'm sure my friend told me, I was talking to him, he said he thought it was going to be some more DLC for it, but looks like they want to make a second one. It's not a lot to say from it now. Just know there will be a second Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild 2. The first one is actually pretty fun to play. Check that out if you can. And there was one more thing before they kind of left off was another DLC character for Super Smash Bros. Banjo freaking... They almost had me there. First I thought it was a Duck Hunt again. And we thought it was Banjo-Kazooie. Then next thing you know, it's Banjo-Kazooie. He's in the game. I didn't think they would put him in there. I'm very surprised they put Banjo-Kazooie in the game, though. So, that was actually pretty fun to see. Okay? That's what I'm sure people... Trust me, I know people are telling me... Still gotta have hope for a new Banjo-Kazooie game. I think it will be a new Banjo-Kazooie game one day. Don't know when, but hopefully in the future, Microsoft, you let a Nintendo use him, good. So I'm kind of glad to see Banjo make it into Super Smash Brothers and a gameplay trailer to it. So I haven't heard about Banjo-Kazooie in a very long time now. So I'm glad they put someone I actually did want in Smash Brothers, okay? Because yeah, I like half the DLC they put out, but I'm sure people like me and I'm sure others are gonna say, where the fuck is Shadow the Hedgehog at? Enough of having Shadow and Knuckles as assist trophies. Make them playable. Hell, make Tails playable if you have to, okay? Make all of them playable. Give Sonic some backup here, people. Come on, everybody else is getting their own backup. Give the Hedgehog some backup, man. Put Tails in the game. Put Knuckles in the game. Put Shadow. Give us some of them. I know people keep wanting to say Goku all the time, but I know that's not happening. Capcom, what do y'all want to do? Y'all want to put some Resident Evil in? That may be the next step if necessary. But come on, man. Sega, get Shadow in there, man. We want Shadow in. We want Shadow playable. Glad to see Banjo-Kazooie in there. So, Nintendo brought out the heat in their Direct. I know it's not a regular press conference Nintendo does, but Nintendo always puts out some games. If there's one thing Nintendo focuses on is the games, and for the Switch, they put out some heat. And personally, I thought Nintendo had one of the best press conferences between that and Microsoft. Because after that, it was just mostly games and demos on the show floor. Some I did check out, mostly the ones I saw at the press conference or games that were not on the stage and that were, shown online if you were watching IGN and GameSpot. I saw more of those, like I think it was some more Destiny 2 DLC, but I don't really know a lot of people that still play Destiny 2 nowadays. What else? I think Call of Duty. There was no Call of Duty on the stage, surprisingly, on any of the stages. I'm surprised it wasn't on the Microsoft stage, but I think Call of Duty's kind of keeping laying low. There's been details about the new Call of Duty Modern Warfare, but I don't know a lot right now other than what the trailer I've seen not that long ago, but and the details I've been hearing from developers at E3, but no gameplay, not much on Call of Duty Modern Warfare. I know a lot of people are tired of Call of Duty nowadays, but bringing Modern Warfare back into the fold since it hasn't been a Modern Warfare in a while, I'm interested. Don't get me wrong, I think Captain Price was back again, so I'm not really mad at that. So I don't know if it will be a new. I don't know if more details about Call of Duty right now to what I've heard, but I was actually surprised they didn't have anything out about it. A big stage presence to show gameplay or anything. But excuse me. Other than that, though, like I said, there's a lot of games I've seen at E3 from the show floor. That's just kind of some of the stuff I've seen on websites and stuff. I've been talking to friends about it, what we've been thinking about E3 and the games have been coming out. Some people are looking forward to the stuff they see, some in that. I've seen a lot of debates online about some games that people want or just some that just don't give a fuck or just think that is shit. I don't know anything else unless I go look up detail. There's probably games on that I have not seen yet that were probably shown, and I just don't know. Okay? So, I can't really, determine on that right now, but excuse me. So what I've seen about E3 though, it's a lot, okay? It's a lot that's been going on throughout the past week. It's just it was a little bit odd that there was no Sony this time on the show floor, on the not show floor I should say, but press conference, because their press conferences are usually entertaining and they always got some shit I want to see on there. And you don't know what surprise it could be, but I guess they want to save up for next year, and everybody else just took the helm and put out some good stuff. So there are a lot of games I'm looking for, and I'm sure it's going to hurt a lot of people's wallets, including mine also, because you want those games that badly. Trust me, I got games right now I'm still trying to work through right now as it is, okay? I'm not going to say what, but dude, it's like they just, some of these games just be coming back out left and right. They don't give you a break. Come on, I still haven't played Mortal Kombat 11 yet here, people, and I'm still trying to get that right now. I heard that was really fun. Because I played the last Mortal Kombat and it was great. Mortal Kombat 10. So 11, that's the next game I'm trying to play right now, okay? It's just like game after game after game after game. But you wait for they to become cheap, or you just wait for all the DLC comes out and they put in this giant gold collection or whatever thing where you get all the DLC in one, depending on how long you want to wait on that game and that. But yeah, it's a lot. Just more games that keep coming out. I think I said this to myself. The last game I went to the store that I actually bought because I wanted it that badly was Spider-Man on the PS4. That game, I just really wanted to play a new Spider-Man game, and I just was really looking forward to it. That I went on day one and bought that shit, okay? And it came out on a Friday, so that was like the main game I wanted to play, because I had been waiting for a very great Spider-Man game in multiple years, and fucking Who made Spider-Man again? Insomniac, yeah, people make Ratchet and Clank. They just put out something great, and Insomniac killed it with Spider-Man. So it was a very fun and enjoyable game, and probably some say probably game of the year. Okay, so yeah, excuse me, yeah, that's what you can really say about the new Spider-Man at the time, and there was DLC with it too. So that was actually an add-on to it also, to how fun the game was too. But overall, I enjoyed that game though. But as for E3 itself, and until I look up some more stuff and everything, I enjoyed what I've seen throughout the week. It's I had to make sure I watched all the press conferences. I did check out some more games here and there and such. Like I said, it's more I'm still looking up and everything, because everything was not shown on the show floor. Or if you sat through some of the gameplay demos and watched, that's another thing. But and there's probably been gameplay games I don't know right now that they've already shown. So there's a lot of excitement. There's a lot of stuff I'm looking forward to. Personally, like I said, Nintendo brought some good shit. There's Smash Brothers DLC. Microsoft. Still, I am interested in that Halo. I am interested, so we'll see what comes from that. I'm almost not in that gonna do no Grand Theft Auto 6 yet. Rockstar ain't ready to put out nothing new. Come on, they just had Red Dead Redemption 2 come out. I was about to say we need another Mortal Kombat. We need another Grand Theft Auto, but I think Grand Theft Auto 5 has so much online shit right now you cannot even keep up with it. Okay, so there you go. But Cyberpunk, I'm really looking kind of forward to, interested whenever that comes out. The new Watch Dogs game, Legion, that's a game I want also. Marvel Ultimate Alliance 3. So there are games I am looking forward to what I've seen from these press conferences in the past few days now. And it's been a good week for E3. I usually watch E3 every year because I always like to see what's coming out in the fall or in the summer. And I'm sure there's a lot of games you all looking forward to what's coming out. Some I like, some I don't like. So think of this as a wrap up throughout the week, okay? Think of this as just like a big review to what I think about the show, or just what I think about all the video games in general. That's how I wanted to wait till Thursday to do this. So tell me what you thought about E3 though, okay? What is the game that you're looking forward to? What is the game that you want to play? What do you look forward to? Are you excited about Project Scarlet? Are you excited about a PS5 if that's true for next year? Are you excited about this new Xbox in general? Do you have the money to buy all these consoles by next year or two? What game are you looking for? Do you have any of these consoles? Is there games out there I did not even mention that you probably saw at E3 that I did not talk about? Please bring this up to me. Bring this up in all the comics. Tell me this, okay? Because I want to know. Maybe there's shit I haven't heard that I haven't seen yet. I'm just going on what my eyes saw throughout this entire week for E3, okay? And there's probably more to talk about, but what is the most game you are looking forward to, okay? What do you want to play? And pray. I may be online and may face you on there one day if necessary, okay? Master Bryce 890. I'm online. I'm not a hard man to find on PlayStation, Xbox, or whatever console, but I think the PlayStation Network has been down all day. I don't know what the fuck's going on with that. Hopefully they get their shit together, but I know the PlayStation Network is down as we speak at this point. But I'm going to roll from here. So comment, subscribe, tell me what you thought about E3. This was a different approach I did. This was different than wrestling, okay? This is about video games this time. And maybe I may want to do more of these things in the future if I want to talk about that, okay? So tell me what you thought about E3. What did you enjoy? What was the most thing you enjoyed? Did you watch E3 in general? Because, hey, there was a lot I liked on here, and there was a lot of games I'm looking forward to. So I'm going to go from here. Comment, subscribe, follow me on Twitter at HoodedKnight890, and tell me what you talking about. I know it's a lot of wrestling content on my channel and everything, so any reviews you want to check out from that, hey, check out my wrestling reviews too. You may enjoy it and have a fun time looking at it. But I'm going to go from here. That ends this podcast today. I'll see you guys later. Peace out.